Pleasure to see you all here. I really appreciate your coming. Today we're going to talk about, and the title of my talk is Jesus, Myrtle, and Charles. I was going to put Jesus, Myrtle, Charles, and me, but then I decided that that was elitist company, and I really, they deserved more than me as a fourth partner. But they are, and they're wonderful, wonderful mentors, people in this movement. Jesus said we could do as he did. I think it's time we got started with the process of healing. We waste our time so much, not doing those things that Jesus asked us to do. You can tell I was in a hurry. This is the Bible I decided to take today. Can you believe it? I've got such a gorgeous one at home. But it's kind of fun. It says in John 14, the 12th verse, most assuredly I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also, and greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father. Jesus said greater works. Now I'm not altogether sure that I know exactly how to deal with greater works when the resurrection was just about the greatest work in the world. But just about, folks, no, it was the greatest. But Jesus said we could do it. And I take Jesus at his word. So I think we can heal as he healed. As he healed. Now, Jesus tells us how he healed. When he called his 12 disciples to them, he gave them power to cast out unclean spirits. And then it says, when he was coming into Nazareth, so he got into a boat and crossed over and came to his own city. And behold, they brought to him a paralytic laying on a bed. And Jesus, seeing their faith, now remember the word faith, said to the paralytic, Son, be of good cheer, your sins are forgiven you. And at once some of the scribes said within themselves, this man blasphemes. But Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, why do you think evil in your hearts? For is it easier to say your sins are forgiven you, or to say arise and walk? Just think for a moment. You have to have faith for spiritual healing. A faith built up over a period of time. That faith that heals spiritually does not come with one healing. That faith comes over a long period of time. And then he said, your sins are forgiven you. In Unity, we have a wonderful idea about sin. Sin is not the big deal that it is in the Orthodox churches. Sin is something we do. Okay, folks, let's just take the episodes that went on here just before we came in, before I started this talk. Sin is missing the mark. I missed the mark. My outline of this talk is in my car, typed up and beautifully photographed, but it wasn't here. I missed the mark. Am I going to lose my cool and get all excited and nervous about that? No, I'm going to make another copy. Thank God I had another blank copy with me. But that's sinning. No more important than any other thing we do in our life, except that when it causes us to be sick, we want to correct it. Go and sin no more, Jesus told the paralytic. He didn't tell him to do more than just change your thinking. Forget your sin. And he also, wise Jesus, did not tell us what sin this man was supposed to quit doing. Because you see, when we outline what causes a sickness, as so many of these wonderful writers that we have do, then whenever we see somebody having arthritis or gallbladder trouble or fat thighs, if you want to call them, or any of the other things, we say, well, that must be caused by, and then we attach it in her or his thinking. Folks, it's none of your business what's going on in their thinking. They are dealing with that themselves. You have all you can do to handle yourself. You have more than enough to do. Jesus also told us that we were to mind our own business. He tells us to shake the dust off our feet when people don't want you around, don't want you to talk about this healing. You're so much better off if you just do the healing work and let your example tell the story. Healing is just too important an activity in our life to be left to chance or left alone. We need to learn to heal spiritually in this world, folks. We really do. Now, in preparation for this talk, I almost really drove myself crazy. I read both Myrtle Fillmore's books, Healing Letters and How to Let God Help You. And I would ask you, if you do not have them and have not read them, to take time to read them. Because in them, Myrtle tells us how to heal spiritually, how to get rid of all the pills we take and all those appendages. Myrtle was the original healer. She knew how to heal herself. She healed others. She was the healer in the group, of the pair. This movement that was founded by both Myrtle and Charles perhaps would have been very little if it had only been left up to Myrtle, because I don't think she would have gotten the organization going. Charles is the one that promoted that and did that. But he also was a healer. And they both did something that is very important. Before they went out and tried to heal others, they healed themselves. They showed how it could be done. They did not tell us not to go to doctors. They did not tell us not to take the medicines. They did not tell us anything. They said, this is how it can be done. If you want to do it, that's fine. It's up to you. And the growth, of course, will come, as it always does, if we work with it. We weren't going to confuse Charles with Jesus now. Charles tells us. And this is what Charles says about healing. All healing is based on mental cleansing. When the mind is free from error thoughts, harmony in the body ensues. Permanent healing is never accomplished until the mental cause of disease, the error thought, is removed. Jesus was the true healer. And when he cast out error that caused the condition, he said, sin no more, lest a worse thing befall thee. The thing was caused by sin. Thus, the true way to heal is to find the mental cause and destroy it forever. I'd like to point out to you that once you are healed spiritually, you never have that problem again. It is gone, folks. And the reason it's gone is whether you know it or not, you have removed some mental condition. Something in your thinking has gone. And it works, folks. It works. Charles and Myrtle proved it over and over again in the beginning of this movement. Why we are so forgiving of looking to other places, I will never understand. But I am in this movement to promote spiritual healing. Why? Well, the story is, physician, heal thyself. And I will assure you that I have been healed. Now, this is not said with bragging. This is not said to impress anyone. This is said in the light of proof that it can be done. I got into Christian Science when I was 11 years old. From that day until this, I have never been to a doctor. And I am old enough so that I could have mothered almost everyone in this room. Let me tell you, I will guarantee you that. Not that I am so old. Let it go at that. I just started earlier than everybody else. I haven't been to a doctor, and I do not take pills. I took my last aspirin tablet when I was a little over 20 years old. And I remember what happened when I took that last aspirin tablet, folks. I was so blessed sick that the man that I was out with at that time thought I was going to die. He couldn't haul me home and hand me over to my mother fast enough. But I made up my mind that that was the end of it, folks. I have had some startling healings. Time does not allow me to tell about them. I will talk with anybody who wants to talk about them. I believe that my good health, oh, and by the way, I also will tell you that I worked for about 100 years for a bank in Minneapolis, and I never missed a day of work because I was ill. Now, I took my vacation time, and every now and then I took a day off, but that was not because I was sick. Any one of you can do the same blessed thing. There's no reason why you can't. I'm no exception to the rule. Healing, spiritual healing, is possible to anyone. Now, you don't start, waiting for the cancer to come. You start when you have a cold, or a stomach ache, or a headache, or whatever on the small scale. And you say, wait a minute now. Jesus healed without the use of medicine. He accommodated the folks, and he gave them the privilege of using medicine by rubbing some clay over somebody's eye one time. And he did prove that he could get angry, so he chased the people out of the temple. But for the most part, his healings were simply, be thou healed. Go and sin no more. Thy sins are forgiven thee. And we remember, sin is not the great, tremendous wrong. It is something that you're not doing right. If you add 2 and 2 is 5, you're not doing it right. All you do is change, and you say 2 and 2 is 4. It's possible to do it. Anybody and everybody can do it. It's just one of those things that we neglect to do, and one of those things that has not been stressed all that often in the unity movement. We can do it. Anyone can do it. It's a wonderful, marvelous thing to do. Jesus has told us we could, and we can. I have been healed, and I really don't want to belabor this point, but I really think that it is important that people know that I know what I'm talking about. I've been healed of something the doctor said could not be healed, except by an operation. And it's gone, folks. I did not go to the doctors. My family was so concerned about me, and it was so obvious and so evident. And they wanted me to do something. And they wondered if there was some medicine that I would take. Well, what they didn't know was if they'd brought it to me, I wouldn't have. I really didn't care. If I couldn't prove this to myself, then I couldn't teach it, and I wanted to be a teacher. I am not a healer, and I won't be a healer, I don't think. I want to be a teacher, and I want to be able to teach people, anybody, everybody, that healing, spiritual healing is possible. You can do it. Jesus did it. And it's too important an aspect of this movement to be neglected. God bless you all on your healing path.